Welcome to SwitchCorner, my name is Alex. Today we're taking a look at the Crackpet show on the Nintendo Switch. Thank you to the developers for sponsoring this video. They've asked me to give you all a breakdown of what the game is all about, the modes packed in, and then an overview of the experience this far. So with that, hit subscribe, join us here for reviews and deals daily, and let's get started. If you do decide to pick up the Crackpet show, then head to my link in the pinned comment down below. That shows the team you're showing them some love from my channel, and while you're there, if you do decide to dive in, consider using cornershop.gg for discounted eShop credit. You'll get 10% off at checkout using code CORNER, and that's going to be instant delivery via email. The link as well to the Crackpet show, it will give you a ton more information around the game and the features, so it's not a bad place to head to, even if you're simply trying to learn more. The Crackpet show then is an action roguelite shoot 'em up about mutated animals that fight in a bizarre TV show where their only goal, kill a slew of enemies before facing a boss encounter. It's got a particular charm to its design that reminds me of Happy Tree Friends for anyone that remembers the show, and clearly they identified that or even took influence because the theme song here, it was written by the very same composer. Fight your way through this world though, earn sponsors and gain fame. Controls here then are simple, the gameplay is top down, and while you may expect a twin stick shooter, that is not the case. Instead, all movement comes from the left stick, while the game leverages an effective auto lock system. Should you want to target a specific enemy as well, you can change your focus using the left and right triggers. Alongside this then, we will use the face buttons to implement action, so the A button fires and allows you to interact. B is a much needed dash, the Y button allows you to use a secondary item, and then X you can change or drop your weapon. Now I will add here, initially you can only carry one gun, be aware of that, but there's certain perks in here that allow you to unlock a second slot. Story mode throws you immediately into this world, and while the game packs a second mode that is endless, we will get to that, this will be your starting point. I can't help but get an air of Smash TV with this one, and we will be fighting through 3 seasons totaling for 18 runs and boss encounters. After a brief tutorial, it's into the full experience we go though, and it's very much set up as a roguelite. So the idea here is basically you must complete a multi-staged level in one go, including taking down the boss. Fail and you're playing that whole episode again. The game to start, you'll need to get used to a few things, or at least I did, and that is your starting loadout relatively weak, and then you can't shoot while moving. The progression here, that is going to be key to unlocks as well as, success. These unlocks then, they come in a few forms and they are rewarded after a room is cleared of enemies, but think guns that play into the weirdness of the overall design, such as simple but effective grenade launchers to those that electrocute to a gun I loved, which fired a random number of bullets each time, but it actually packed some serious power, so it was worth the randomization. Each pickup as well has a handy screen detailing what you can expect, and should you pick up a new gun, I would say give it a quick test drive in that location. Make sure you like it before you exit because you could always switch it back. Alongside this then, we also get an item. This is everything from turrets to bandages that heal. My first few runs, I really didn't pay much attention to this, and quite honestly that was a death sentence. This is a game that's been designed to have you maximizing every single treat that it gives you. Finally, perks. These are rewarded by a fish, and yes, you heard that right, they do stack, and it's been everything from enemies further away have lower health bars to more damage if they're in a close radius. My favourite perk this far though, easily, it's been one that chained up my bullets between enemies for some devastating damage. It was especially impressive when those enemies were trying to overwhelm me. It's also worth knowing then you will occasionally cross a store. You'll spend likes here as you're getting popular on the broadcast, and you can give yourself a serious advantage from restoring health, which does not auto regen, to basically an overpowered armory. The episodes then are made up of multiple arenas. You'll be choosing your path from a map in between encounters. This map details exactly what you can expect from that next room, and that's really where the strategy comes in. You'll really want to start to learn, kind of identify what items and setup am I aiming for first, and that's where a lot of the fun comes from, just kind of that experimentation. Should you beat an episode, then progress at that point is saved and you are awarded trophies which translate into upgrade coins. This is where you'll start to shape your pets. When it comes to that shaping of your pet though, you see between episodes there's a lobby area. Here we can not only opt for up to 4 players locally, but we can start to again kind of impact our lead into a bit of a beast. We also have multiple options at this location, so think choosing a class, they start out basically with a different weapon and item. There's going to be 4 options. We can change our character skin. I like the shark personally, but there's a ton in here to unlock as well. We can view the weapons and the items that we've encountered this far, and really starts to show you how many are going to be ahead of you. Then perhaps most importantly, we can pay for permanent upgrades to perks found in stages, and we can grab a sponsor. So the sponsors we have 3 to choose from with multiple paths each, whether that's building on your power or building on your survival. I went with the latter because my skill level just isn't good enough to keep me alive. But yeah, basically I started to work my way through these unlocks, and the first one was absolutely essential. It allowed health to be potentially dropped by enemies. It's always good to see we can shape the gameplay to our very own style. This, at that point though, I will add, it's a tough game. It's going to take practice to get through each season, or perhaps even a friend would make it a tad easier. No real issues either so far. It's run just fine outside of some slowdown during boss encounters, which I've reported back to the team. Honestly though, it almost gave me a second to breathe at times. Just got to get used to that input difference. Then there's a loader screen between each arena. I didn't find it intrusive myself, just expect to find them there as you do move forwards. Finally, my last point on the note of boss encounters, by the way, great fun this far. Huge enemies, completely different to anything you've seen before, and often they fire so many bullets at a time it could be considered entry-level bullet hell. Also, I've had a frog that jumps into the air and lands with these devastating almost earthquakes. If you want a run and gun experience so to keep you busy, then this may be a good option, and that's even before you get to endless modes. This mode then you need to unlock, and to do that you must beat Season 1, and that is the equivalent of 6 bosses. This is the mode to keep you coming back long after you've finished with the core experience. I'm still working my way towards it. But yeah, look, it's promising, as the name suggests, an endless loop of rooms to head into with progressively challenging encounters. You'll of course start basic here as well and work your way up with new weapons, items and secondary weapons as well. It's basically considered almost the ultimate challenge. The big appeal here though, it's absolutely going to be getting a high score and then simply trying to outdo yourself. That is always a fun proposition. The visuals then really bring the weirdness and the attitude of the game, from blood-covered sharks to bunnies that look pretty unhealthy if you do ask me. They move with simple animations, but it's effective, shows a lot of personality. It's always easy to spot them on screen as well, which is absolutely essential, and that's thanks to the vivid colour palette and the overall resolution. It's nice and crisp. This also goes for the weapon design as well, just some fun ideas in here. They often come with these breakdowns and imagery that kind of plays into, again, the Happy Tree Friends vibe. The enemy design then this far, we've seen some great opponents, from those quick on their feet to devastating frogs to those that fly to some boss encounters that tower over you. Menus finally, nice and simple to understand and navigate. Audio finally, I've been enjoying the music. During gameplay it's the quick pace you would expect to match the intensity of the situation, and the weapons, they sound particularly satisfying. From electrocution to exploding body parts, you'll pretty much find a sound for everything. The absolute highlight though, and I can see why they mention this nearly everywhere, the theme song from the composer behind Happy Tree Friends, it really is fantastic. I'd strongly suggest checking out one of the trailers to hear it for yourself. So that is the Crackpet Show, a roguelite top-down shooter that throws you into one of the weirder worlds that I've seen in some time. It's got a fun rotation of character skins though, and the few guns and items that I have seen prove to have a decent amount of variety. I'm still kind of at that stage of determining the build I like, but yeah, in my opinion, that's kind of half the fun with roguelites, the experimentation and then finally mastering the mechanics. Fortunately though, this one keeps the controls simple, a single stick movement. It's actually great because you can keep your focus on your character and out of harm's way, and trust me when I say this world, it wants to do you a whole lot of harm. Will you be checking it out then? Let us know in the comments. Remember to use my link if you do decide to jump in, or maybe just want to learn more. All of that information is found in the pinned comment below. With that then, hit subscribe, join us here for reviews and deals daily, and I'll see you all on the next video. Thanks everyone.